All right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the bronze final and the men's side of the Rugby World Cup Sevens. Now, we do know now that France are the women's bronze finalists, but now we wait to see who gets themselves the bronze and the men's. Looking through at the starting lineup, so will be Matthew McDonald in that starting lineup for Ireland alongside Jack Kelly, Harry McNulty, who has had a very good tournament so far, Che Mullins, Terry Kennedy, Sean Cribben and Billy Dardis, the skipper, finding himself in the starting lineup rather than coming off the bench. Then in the Australian starting lineup, it will be Nathan Lawson, Henry Hutchison, Nick Maloof, Matthew Gonzalez, Corey Toole, Stuart Dunbar, and Josh Turner. So both sides actually making 3 or more changes to their starting lineups. Maybe just going with who they feel will be able to get the job done. So off the benches, Jordan Conroy, Mark Roach, and also Andrew Smith, all were players in that starting lineup for the last contest. And then for the Australians, they have taken James Turner out of the starting lineup, Dietrich Roach out of that starting lineup, and also Henry Patterson. Hello, Hamish, tough one, but I'm going for Australia. Win by 20, says Kevin. And there as well. So Australia, they were able to get themselves the win over Uruguay, the win over France, but then they did lose to Fiji, 38 points to 14, which was a lot more one-sided of a contest than a lot of people anticipated. Hamish again, Black Cats lost ODI Series 3-0, and Australia failing to win a single match since 2009, says Coding. And there as well. So yeah, doing very well for the Black Cats at the moment, aren't they? Just a little bit of struggle going on for the Kiwis, but maybe the Kiwis, they've still got finals coming up in the sevens later on, the men's and the women's. So maybe they'll be able to take home a World Cup trophy to add to the New Zealand sporting cabinet. But it is going to be Australia kicking off this one from right to left. We are underway now for the bronze medal final, and Stu Dunbar does get us underway, just traveling the 10, taken beautifully by Nathan Lawson. And now a little handling error, though, from Matthew Gonzalez. They did all the hard work by retaining the kickoff, but then the mistake from Gonzalez does now lead to the scrum feed for Australia. Or sorry, for Ireland, I should say. Now, Ireland had a good game up against the Kiwis. They were defeated, but they were pushing New Zealand every step of the way, which is something they need to try and do with the Aussies as well. We have got High Seas Cats of the Best. Welcome, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Currently sitting 5:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. Over the last 3 days, we have probably done approximately 30 hours of live streaming. It's been a lot of fun. My voice is still intact, which is pretty handy for us as well. Terry Kennedy puts the ball down on the ground, protects it for the Irish. Now going away to the side, Cribben. It's good body position. Almost stolen there by Nick Maloof. Currently just outside of their own 22. Ireland goes to Terry Kennedy. Now, the thing is, he has been a lot more quiet than he normally is. He's actually one of the leading try scorers in the regular World Sevens circuit, but hasn't really been able to shine throughout this World Cup. Harry McNulty, though, whole different story. He has been absolutely everywhere, and the penalty now goes the way of Ireland. Sitting on the halfway line, and McNulty straight away points the touch and says, we want to slow this down and kick the ball out. I think Ireland is the favourites here, playing so well, beating strong teams South Africa, says Coding. Although I think if it's anything like the game between New Zealand and Ireland, I believe Australia will come in as slight favourites, maybe about $2.30 underdogs for the Irish. And thanks for the stream. Keep us much appreciated for your dedication, says Kevin. And well, the test is nearly over, if he can even call it, or if we can even call it a test match. How many are England on now, Sebastian? Do let me know. And is the day still going? Because if it is, it must be about 3 minutes away from finishing, isn't it? We are hopefully going to be able to do the final day, which is going to end up being tomorrow. Someone's getting either bowled out or getting a total chase down relatively quickly, I would think. New Zealand will win both finals. Got to hear you, Australia. Also in my multi, 2 more to go if the Aussies get up. So here's Aiden there now. Australia kicking it in behind. Ireland trying to cut this one off. It's going to be sitting up for Billy Dardis, the skipper. He was shut down pretty quickly by, I believe that was actually Dunbar who was able to make the tackle there. Quick hands from Ireland, a flat pass. Now trying to get the overlap going for McNulty, fending off Henry Hutchison, but good rush defence there. So England are sitting 84 for none. Jeez, they've gone in a hurry, haven't they? How many overs have they faced? I'm going to have a look at that. But now, Australia having to defend once again. Ireland getting a decent amount of runs on the board. I think they'll come back tomorrow to get the final runs and win the series. Says Sebastian, that's going to be another knock on there. A little bit of a kick away from Turner. And it will be Australia's scrum feed now, New Zealand, or which, and both teams play against New Zealand in both finals. So for the women's, it is up against Australia, and the men's, it is up against Fiji. Both challenging results. Hey, Crawley got a 50. Not too bad from him. So they faced 15 overs, scored 85 runs, and said, we'll just go and get the rest of the runs tomorrow. Surely they could extend for half an hour. Or they must still be going, are they? Because if they've got still enough time, surely they just have it done in 2 days. Australia have not finished in the top three since the Rugby World Cup Sevens 2005. And Australia in the women's and New Zealand in the men's, and England need 45 runs to win the cricket. Says Cats are the best. Well, the ball is fed in by Gonzalez once again. Another knock on. He is really fired up. Nick Malouf tells him, don't worry about it, but Gonzalez looks like he's ready to strangle someone. Unfortunately, just once again, just makes a little mistake. And really fired up Gonzalez, flexing all his muscles for that one. But yeah, I assume they'll just keep on going. And also, this is more like a prolonged ODI. Yeah, it's been such a weird test match. Not just for like the fact that South Africa were bowled out twice for less than 170. England were also bowled out for less than 160. But then the unforeseen circumstances of it having a day taken away, then a whole day rained off to start us off for the test match. It's just been really weird. Too many mistakes. Are you kidding me? Says Aiden, I am not kidding you at all. Mistakes from Nick Malouf there, actually giving away the penalty. Ireland, they are behind currently, but they are certainly a side that can make an impact. Oh, sorry, not behind currently, but not in the lead either. Currently sitting 0-2 2 minutes left on the board. Billy Dardis about to throw this ball in for the Irish. It's going to be nicely taken by McNulty. Goes back to Dardis. Back across. Now a bit of a step there from Terry Kennedy. Flicks it on the inside. Australia have been able to steal it nicely, though. This time Nathan Lawson does clean it up. Gonzalez has been able to hang on to it that time. Gives it off now to Nick Malouf. Couple big boys. And the Australian side, it is weird how the All Blacks game is on this Thursday, and we can safely say that the only loser is Test cricket, says Sebastian there. And South Africa in a way. For yourself, of course, being an Englishman, Sebastian, you'll be able to rub that one in for a little bit. Because at the end of the day, to win a test match and does it count as 2 days or does it count as 3 days to win it in? Now back across Australia with Corey Toole now wants someone in the support run. Gives it off to Josh Turner. Now back across again. It will be Australia looking for the wide cutout pass. Corey Toole takes it. Man on the inside. Great link up there to Lawson. And that is what Corey Toole was asking for. He's got it that time. And it is going to be the try for Nathan Lawson between the posts. Australia get themselves the first try of this bronze medal final. There are only 2 games after this. The one match taking place for the women's final, Australia versus New Zealand, and then the men's, New Zealand versus Fiji to close it out. I won't rub it in. I don't mind the Proteas at all, says Sebastian. And also, when it's the both finals today or tomorrow, they are both today. So the next final is taking place in only about 45 minutes time. And then after that, the next final is going to be in about an hour and 20 minutes time, somewhere along those lines. But that is very nicely done by Nathan Lawson. That kick has gone over, and now there will still be one more kick taken by the time we get to halftime. 3 missed tackles so far from the Australians, probably doing pretty well to have themselves sitting 7-0 up over the Irish at this point in time. I'm wondering what the odds are for this one. Again, I know I always talk about the odds, but Sevens is such an intriguing one because a side who are $45 underdogs can win, which is what makes it so unpredictable, really. Looks like Ireland have been able to get themselves the penalty here once again. They'd like to be able to get themselves over the line. So Ireland currently are $5.30 underdogs, even though they are 7 points down heading into halftime, even though the scoreboard doesn't want to admit it at this point in time. I'm going to cross my arms for a little bit of time here just because one of my ribs from sitting in this chair has slowly been going numb, and I'm a bit concerned about it. But I think it's just from sitting here constantly with like added pressure on it. Should be all right after a nice sleep. Now, Ireland once again have this one available. Sitting on the halfway line currently, it will be Matthew McDonald goes across. They need a try and they need it now, and I believe they're going to be close to being able to score it. Terry Kennedy. Now, nice ball off to Harry McNulty. In fact, it's a bigger man. The number 5, Che Mullins, moving into the 22. Ireland now in hot attack. They're going through. Billy Dardis. No, in fact, it's going to be the young number 11, Sean Cribben. And this one at halftime is going to be 7-all. And I am in trouble. I need an alibi or 5. You're in trouble. What have you done, Jay? What has happened? And also score is Frez. What is the score? It is 7-all. And when is the next BBL again, Hamish? So the next BBL is coming up in about, I believe, 3 months. Or actually less than 3 months, sorry. It does take place in December. But I will get you the exact date of the first game while we are at halftime. But yeah, the scoreboard, the time's updating. It's just the actual score itself. They don't want to admit that it's 7-all. Oh, they've given the points to Australia. I assume the next points will be going the way of Ireland in a very short moment. One moment. We will go like this. And we will go like this. Right, we'll scroll down through me app. I'm only 5 days away at the moment, so I need to go a bit further. There we go. The women's BBL starts up in 31 days. The men's starts up in 92 days. So it is actually 3 months. December 13th, when it will be taking place. Don't let me lose. Nemo Multi, by the way, are you going to do the women BBL as well? I would like to do some of the games. It just depends on whether or not there are overlaps and when I am working as well. Just because throughout the next few months, I will be doing a lot more work to try and be able to, I guess, keep on doing YouTube, if that makes sense. Mainly so that I can afford to, I guess is the best way of putting it. But now halftime, 7-all in this contest could easily go either way in this matchup. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of building with my dad. You would have seen him on 2 live streams, I believe, in the past. The State of Origin matches on the Kiwi Lad Sport. He had joined me. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of building. It's not my worst work, I would say. And also, Jay and I might have ruined Blazer's chat by pissing on all the rules of the chat. Wait, what were the rules of the chat and how did you piss on it? How did you manage that? He's NFL red zone, isn't he, at the moment, if I'm not wrong? And now, Cape Town, 7-all at the moment. And Ireland will be kicking off this one. So the opening match of the BBL is actually Thunder versus Stars as well, for anyone who is curious about that one. And me and Seb have been here all night, says Jay. Oh, Maloof lands hard on his back, and it bounces back onto the side of Andrew Smith and the Irish. Now Che Mullins continues to drive forward. Doing very nicely. And please don't leave YouTube, Hamish. You're doing a great job. So no, I have no intentions of slowing down YouTube. It's more of the case of I'm going to do like a little bit of a mixture, I guess. So I'll be working during the day, YouTubing during the night, and then sleeping any chance that I get other than that. So it will only be part-time work for the building side of things, mainly because luckily with my dad as my boss, he'll be very generous with when he allows me to work. That's going to actually be the try to Corey talk. He just went with the zigzag. And I was like, you're leaving YouTube, Hamish, please don't do it. You are a good job. And Concha, you will grow fast. He's going, no, I'm not leaving YouTube. Don't panic. I'm just going to be working during the day. Like anytime there aren't matches on, I'm going to be building. That's all. I'm still doing the same amount of live streams and everything along those lines, same amount of videos. It is just I'm going to be having a part-time job alongside it so that I can keep doing YouTube because Hamish has run out of money. I guess is the best way of putting it. Corey Toole now able to pierce his way through and does score the try for Australia. He's asleep and the time is nigh to say whatever. Has he fallen asleep on the live stream? I know that there was a live stream the other day that someone was talking about. How does one... I'm going to have a look. Is he live at the moment on the channel or is he asleep? Is he asleep? I'm going to have a look. Oh, no, 3 waiting. Okay, he's fallen asleep. I just see you two are going for it at the moment. Speaking of boats, the Fijian kind of suck. This is the first comment I read. Go tell him to wake up. I mean, I could try to. I've got him on Instagram. He was active a little while ago, but I think he must have drifted off. Seen 5 hours ago, active 3 hours ago. Yeah, no, he might be asleep. No, he didn't get to start the stream and get up and manage. And also, Hamish, what's your predictions for the 2 semis? I think, the 2 semis or the 2 finals? I think they're both going to be close, split by probably less than 7 each. Currently, Australia leading this one 14 points to 7. Australia, they need to make sure they don't allow Ireland to score the next try, and Andrew Smith might be able to do so. Nice cut-out pass. Little bit of a mistake there. I think it's come off the boot, so it's going to be play on for Jack Kelly. Getting close. Drops the ball off. Hutchison dives on it. Like it was some fresh meat put down for some Lions. Now the penalty goes the way of Ireland, and Jack Kelly was just a little bit ahead of it. No, I mean in his chat, write something, says Jay Hayes. Will he be able to see it, though? I'll get in trouble. I'll get sent a message, I think. See, I would try and, if I woke him up, man, he'd be annoyed, wouldn't he? I wonder if he realizes that he didn't unschedule the live stream. He probably thought he'd close his eyes for a quick nap and then just forgot to set the alarm. That's going to be kicked in behind from Terry Kennedy. He's got it. Kennedy. Sorry, throwback to a bit of the old WWE days. But Terry Kennedy has been able to score Ireland back in this contest. Hey, Sebastian, says Aiden there. And also, we have got there. I meant the 2 finals in your prediction. I think my prediction for the main final was Fiji by 10. And my prediction for the women's one, I haven't actually given one yet. But I would say, I don't want to say Australia because, of course, it's the Trans-Tasman side of things. But Australia seem to have a very good skill of beating New Zealand in those important matches. Just seems to be one of their habits. Mr. Kennedy says, Aiden. And there as well. Yep, he got the reference. The mic, you got to wait for it to drop down from the sky, don't you? I always used to wonder where that microphone came from because it took a long time to get down there and then he just lets it go and then it disappears. Magical. Mark Roach, now with this ball, gives it off to Kennedy. He has slipped over. Unfortunately, might have a bung or a bad ankle now, I should say. Mullins gets that ball. Roach passes across to McNulty. This game is well and truly coming alive for the Irish, and the crowd in attendance want to see an Irish win as well by the sounds of it. Back across. Advantage offside 10 gold. That would be against Nick Maloof this time. As the penalty, Henry Hutchison tries to go for the ankle. Atini has said, hello, welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. A little bit of an awkward kick from Terry Kennedy. And then it went straight to Mark Roach. Carves through. McNulty for the corner. He's got it. And that might be the try for the Irish as well. They have taken the lead in this bronze medal final. Have Ireland ever got themselves this high up in the sevens? I want to say that they have in the past. I know a guy that shows games. There are actually a lot on YouTube at the moment, about maybe 10 different live streams that are all actually showing the matches, which is why if you guys do want to watch the games, I fully understand if you want to have that open. If you want to have it in a different tab and keep us chatting a whole heap of random stuff, I guess you can do that as well. Currently on our game clock, it is 1 minute 30 for anyone who does want to sync up. And a very competitive match. Both the teams playing really good. Says Coding, yeah, very close. This is an important kick for Mark Roach. My first instinct is he's not going to get it just because of how wide out it is going to be. And there goes my multi. They're still going to be within 7. Misses away to the left. So all they need is a try now, Aiden. And you will be right back into it. I thought you were going to give the gambling a break for yourself, Aiden, just to help with being less stressed during sporting events. Mark Roach, though, good curving in and out, just like the burger joint. Do they do burgers? I think they do. It is Eleanor Craft, it is. And there is also another one that I can't quite remember the name of. It's quite interesting, though. You see those channels that do the live streams and who are the video or their video is like making a flower with 5 views, and it's like that channel's popping off now. But unfortunately, they're probably going to get copyright struck, which is going to be a big shame for them because now they won't be able to actually upload on their channel and get back to their arts and crafts. So you got to be strategic with it. You know, you can't have multiple live streams going at once, or else if multiple get taken down, you're in trouble. Now, Turner just gets that one completely wrong. 10 seconds left now. Ireland just need to feed this ball in and retain, and then they will be winning the bronze at the Sevens World Cup. That is a massive one. And there we go. It's over, says Aiden. There is a good chance that the Aussies aren't going to be able to get the scrum feed back. Crouch. Bind. And set. Mark Roach puts the ball in. Taps on the back. It pops out. Maurice Longbottom tries to stop it. Terry Kennedy kicks it out. And the underdogs, the Irish, have been able to get themselves the first time since 1993. Ireland have got themselves the bronze medal. And Jordan Conroy's, did he even play? I mean, he played in the other games, don't get me wrong, but was he involved in this game? Did they even give him the chance? I feel like it was an interesting choice. Take him in out. My multi is screwed. And how are you going to do Glasgow versus Benetton, 16th of September at 18:30? I will hopefully be able to do so. It may be a middle of the night game for us here, but I will try my absolute best to do as many of those URC games as I can. Let's go Ireland. Says Mountains of Asylum, and also unbelievable, says Aiden. Yeah, massive win for the Irish. Terry Kennedy was pumping the fists and was absolutely loving it. And hopefully the 15s can do it at least as well next year and go Ireland. And wow, what a string of results for the big, says Joseph. Exactly right. This group of errors. I can't do an Irish accent, unfortunately. I wish I had an Irish accent. It sounds like quite a fun one. Terry Kennedy, he is very happy with that. Only 2 tries for him throughout this World Cup, which is really surprising because normally he's a try-scoring machine, but his teammates have been scoring a majority of them. They can't quite believe it, though, for Ireland. And like I mentioned, they only narrowly lost to New Zealand, and they were able to beat the South Africans. So they have accomplished so much in one tournament, and it's been absolutely incredible to see the progression of Ireland over the last 12 months. But the next game, it is going to be the women's game, Australia versus New Zealand. That has taken place relatively soon. That will be about a 6 a.m. kickoff, New Zealand time, I want to say. Actually, I'm just going to make sure that that is the time that it is kicking off before I tell you guys that. It's 6:17, or at least it's supposed to be. But that said 15 minutes, so maybe they're running ahead of schedule. I'm just going to have a quick look here, just to make sure that they haven't changed the times on me. No, it still says 6:17, so I'm not too sure. It depends on the Irish accent. Some are great, some are others are horrific. I won't say what one I have. And what is next? The next one is going to be Australia versus New Zealand. And fantastic Ireland, says Richard. And they're really well-deserved for Ireland. They fought hard throughout this whole Sevens World Cup. Haven't had an easy path. They had to try and beat South Africa. They did that. They had to beat England. They did that. They had to beat New Zealand. Unfortunately missed out, but then from there fired back and got themselves another win. Nonetheless, I guess we are popping away for only about 15 minutes or so. We've also in the process, we're going to have a preview going up for New Zealand versus the Fijians. So be sure to check that out. That will be coming out at about 6 a.m. I think is when that one is going to be hitting the channel. So be sure to give that a look. Shame the ladies did not do as well this time, although they still finished, I want to say, higher than they've ever finished before in the Sevens. I think they managed to get themselves 5th, which is actually a really good effort for Ireland women's side, seeing as they have not been able to do such a task. So both sides actually doing absolutely brilliantly, really, with the way that they did go. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all in a very short moment for the next live stream, which is Australia versus New Zealand for the Women's World Cup gold. Thank you all very much. I will see you all for the next one.